Reading The World Viewed, Reflections on the Ontology of Film by Stanley Cavell. 3. Photograph and Screen. Let us notice the specific sense in which photographs are of the world, of reality as a whole. You can always ask, pointing to an object in a photograph, a building, say, what lies behind it, totally obscured by it. This only accidentally makes sense when asked of an object in a painting. You can always ask of an area photographed what lies adjacent to that area, beyond the frame. This generally makes no sense asked of a painting. You can ask these questions of objects in photographs because they have answers in reality. The world of a painting is not continuous with the world of its frame. At its frame, a world finds its limits. We might say a painting is a world. A photograph is of the world. What happens in a photograph is that it comes to an end. A photograph is cropped not necessarily by a paper cutter or by masking, but by the camera itself. The camera crops it by predetermining the amount of a view it will accept. Cutting, masking, enlarging predetermine the amount after the fact. Something like this phenomenon shows up in recent painting. In this respect, these paintings have found at the extremist negation of the photographic media that achieve the condition of photographs. The camera, being finite, crops a portion from an indefinitely larger field. Continuous portions of that field could be included in the photograph, in fact taken. In principle, it could all be taken. Hence, objects in photographs that run past the edge do not feel cut. They are aimed at, shot, stopped live. When a photograph is cropped, the rest of the world is cut out. The implied presence of the rest of the world and its explicit rejection are as essential in the experience of a photograph as what it explicitly presents. A camera is an opening in a box. That is the best emblem of the fact that a camera holding on an object is holding the rest of the world away. The camera has been praised for extending the senses. It may, as the world goes, deserve more praise for confining them, leaving room for thought. The world of a moving picture is screened. The screen is not a support, not like a canvas. There is nothing to support that way. It holds a projection as light as light. A screen is a barrier. What does the silver screen screen? Question mark. It screens me from the world it holds. That is, makes me invisible. And it screens that world from me. That is, screens its existence from me. That the projected world does not exist now is its only difference from reality. There is no feature or set of features in which it differs. Existence is not a predicate. Because it is the field of a photograph, the screen has no frame. That is to say, no border. Its limits are not so much the edges of a given shape as they are the limitations or capacity of a container. The screen is a frame. The frame is the whole field of the screen, as a frame of film is the whole field of a photograph, like the frame of a loom or a house. In this sense, the screen frame is a mold or form. The fact that in a moving picture successive film frames are fit flush into the fixed screen frame results in a phenomenological frame that is indefinitely extendable and contractible, limited in the smallness of the object it can grasp only by the state of its technology, and in largeness only by the span of the world. Drawing the camera back and panning it are two ways of extending the frame. A close-up is of a part of the body, or of one object or small set of objects, supported by and reverberating the whole frame of nature. The altering frame is the image of perfect attention. Early in its history, the cinema discovered the possibility of calling attention to persons and parts of persons and objects, but it is equally a possibility of the medium not to call attention to them, but rather to let the world happen, to let its parts draw attention to themselves according to their natural weight. This possibility is less explored than its opposite, Dreyer, Flaherty, of Flaherty, Vigo, Renard, and Antonioni are masters of it. And I was reading Photograph and Screen in The World Viewed, Reflections on the Ontology of Film by Stanley Cavell.